Hi everyone, it's Donna here from neurobox. Happy Dyslexia Awareness time. It's great to have your company for my 10 in 10. What's 10 in 10? I hear you say. Well, it's 10 top tips in 10 minutes. So it really is a challenge for me. And I'm going to talk about raising the volume. That's the theme for Dyslexia Awareness Week 2025. And it's an amazing idea about raising voices, coming together to share awareness and understanding and wisdom and so on. I think as well, beyond the actual, raising of voices, this types of volume, to me, raising the volume can also mean self-advocating, so making sure we've got our own voices out there, embracing our dyslexia, understanding the strengths that maybe dyslexia brings us. So lots of ideas about what this theme can mean to us. So anyway, I've had a think and I've managed to put together 10 top tips. I think all can kind of come together to give us this idea of what it truly means to raise the volume for dyslexia. So I've got one eye on the time. Off we go. I've got 10 minutes. So number one, self-validation. This is an idea that I really like. I often have it on some of my top 10 lists because I think no matter what we're talking about, this one is really, really important. So on this occasion, we're talking about raising the volume. And actually, in order for us to be able to raise the volume, share our voice, share our thoughts, and so on, share our authentic selves, we've actually got to have a sense of one, we are going to share that our experiences, our thoughts are going to be accepted, respected, that what we share is valid. Okay, so we need to get to that place of self validation within ourselves, but also within our workplace as well. So that's got to be near the top of our list as we're thinking about raising the volume for dyslexia. Number two is all about community. And again, this one is something I talk a lot about. It's really important that we understand we're not alone. We can have those connections with others. And in fact, those connections are not just nice to have, they're really important, especially when we're thinking about an idea like raising the volume, because the strength in numbers, isn't there? And sharing of ourselves in those ways, that solidarity really helps to raise awareness. It says here, creating networks, getting into that habit of sharing can be really beneficial for all concerned, for us as individuals, but for the network and the broader organisation that we work within. Dyslexia impacts at least 1 in 10 of us. So this is, a huge issue. It's an issue that a lot of us are living with, this neurodifference. So there's definitely power in connection. So number two is all about community when we're thinking about raising that volume. Number three, do your dyslexia homework. Now, for a lot of us with dyslexia, the idea of homework is scary and something that we don't necessarily enjoy, bearing in mind all what we've probably been through whilst we were at school. But hopefully, this is nice homework. And what it is, dyslexia homework, is finding out about how dyslexia impacts on us, finding out about the subject of dyslexia in and of itself. We don't have to go away and read textbooks to find that out. Finding out information now, it has never been so easy. Here at Neurobox, we've got a great YouTube channel. We've got great information, for example, on our website, but we're not alone. There's lots of information out there from many other trusted voices in the community. And I love this idea, knowledge is power. So in order, I think, to feel self-validation, that's what we were thinking about in number one, and actually have this sense of community, understanding what dyslexia means to us is probably at the very bedrock of making sure that we are well on our way to that journey of raising the volume. Number four, own your dyslexia and know yourself. So this is very much connected, isn't it, to number three about do your dyslexia homework. And once we've done that homework and found out about dyslexia, the next part is it's about owning that and understanding what that means to us as an individual. Yes, we're all going to be in slightly different places potentially, but we will have a thread that runs through the dyslexia community, which is amazing and something to be really cherished and actually nourished in terms of making that more and more and those connections happen more and more. It says here self-acceptance is the key. And again, I think that connects back into the self-validation idea. Knowing what we are great at, our areas of challenge as well, can really help. I think for a lot of us, we're pretty good at figuring out what our areas of challenge are, but maybe for whatever reason, we find it a lot tougher actually to think about what we're good at. And what this tells us is let's have a really, rounded picture of who we are as a person. Understanding, so yes, it's really important. What are my areas of challenge connected to dyslexia? But also, what am I really good at as well? And if that's tough for us to think in that way, because for some of us, we really don't think of ourselves in those ways, maybe asking trusted folks in our lives, hey, what am I good at? I'm trying to get a real sense of what my dyslexia means to be. Great for the person themselves, if you can go on this journey of discovery, but also great for our organisations, our colleagues, and so on, because it really has that ripple effect as we stand in our own lived experience and are able to have wisdom around that. It definitely can really impact on those around us as well. And again, number 5 is very closely connected to this. It's good to talk. If being your authentic, dyslexic self is new to you, so you're not yet in the place where you do want to speak about this stuff, maybe you're still a bit shy to share and you're just finding out what dyslexia means to you, I think it's really important then to find a safe space with trusted people where you can truly be yourself, maybe unmask, listen, and share, and it's that interaction as well. For those of us who maybe feel a bit more confident to speak about our neurodifference, then yeah, maybe we want to share in an awareness session sometimes. Maybe it's celebrating Dyslexia Awareness time, and we've had a shout out in the company to share lived experience. And actually, this is the year that we want to do that. And so, yeah, for some of us, that might be the next step on our journey, or posting something up on LinkedIn about ourselves. For others, that's okay if we're not there yet. For some of us, we may never be in that place. But as long as we find that we own our own dyslexia, we understand what that means to us, then yes, however that connection manifests for us, number 5 is telling us it's good to talk, and that really is the truth. Number 6, what works for me? Again, a really honest question, I think, everyone, in terms of it comes off the back of the areas of strength, the areas of challenge. Okay, what works for me? What doesn't work? Again, for some of us, we're just on the beginning of that journey. For some of us, we're maybe a little bit further on and we've got some good insights into, what strategies or assistive technology workarounds can work for me in terms of really support my areas of strength and supporting my areas of challenge as well. And we know that when we get the balance right on that one, we can really feel empowered. And again, bringing it back to raising the volume, these are the authentic ways that we can do that for sure. Number 7 talks about giving ourselves credit. And again, for some of us, we find this really tough, acknowledging the things that we're good at. It says here about our gifts and talents, and really change the way that we see ourselves and develop this more positive growth mindset, positive thinking. However we want to refer to this, it's about acknowledging and reflecting on the things that we're good at and essentially giving ourselves credit. And again, if we're thinking about raising the volume, I think that's definitely got to be part of our key considerations as well. Again, number 7's really interlinked with number 8, the next one. You are enough. And for a lot of neurodivergent folks, we compare ourselves a lot, don't we, to neurotypical individuals, or compare ourselves to systems that are not designed for neurodivergent individuals. And often we are left to feel lesser than, not good enough. What number 8 speaks to us of is the idea that we need to get to this place where we feel that we are enough, we're good enough. And part of that journey has got to be an awareness of, are we actually comparing ourselves to others all the time? And once we get to that awareness, trying to stop doing that if that is something that we do a lot. And it talks here about being proud of who you are. And again, really important. And I think these are key ingredients about raising that volume within ourselves and the broader community as well. Number 9, we're nearly there. Celebrate Dyslexia Awareness Time. A really obvious one, I think, everyone, to raise the volume. Let's get these conversations happening. Certainly for folks who maybe never thought about dyslexia before, it's a great way to use awareness times to get dyslexia on people's agenda, get people talking and understanding and raising awareness. It talks here about celebrating that lived experience. And I said a little bit earlier, for some of you, you might think, actually, this year, 2025, I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm actually going to share in work my lived experience and show up for this. For others, it's okay if you're not there, or if you think that's never going to be me, that's okay. Good looks different for all of us, doesn't it? This is not a one size all fits journey. But that being said, for those of us who do feel confident and think it's time to share, brilliant. It can really make a difference. And also beyond the lived experience within the organisations and so on, it's also maybe inviting external speakers, experts in to help raise awareness, have those conversations, have training. We know that this can really change practice. And again, a key element of raising the volume, because we are literally turning the volume up and having lots of these complex conversations and amplifying neuro inclusion. Number 10 is probably, I think, my favourite one. It's learn to self-advocate. And again, when we're thinking about what the theme of Dyslexia Awareness Time means this time around, to me, when we're raising up voices, the volume, we have to do that within ourselves. That journey has to begin with us in order to make the connections, make the difference for others, play it forward for others. So we have to get to a place where we are able to share of ourselves. We've got that wisdom about what dyslexia means to us and what works for us and so on. And we feel confident enough, and this is number 1, isn't it? Self-validated enough, safe enough to be able to share in that way. Now, what it says here, though, I think is truly inspiring, because let's not forget, that's not just good for us, it actually can help others as well. And this is the very bedrock of what we're talking about here, raising the volume, because it's almost that ripple effect again that I mentioned earlier. By figuring out how we can put things in place to support ourselves, we're kind of inspiring, we hope, and being a bit of a role model for other folks to think, oh, okay, that person should, I'm going to share now. And it's that kind of ripple effect. And if we're able to do that, then I really think we're truly raising the volume, which I hope you agree with me. It's been a great theme actually for this time around. It's very clever in terms of the different facets to what it's talking to us around raising that volume. So thank you so much for your time. Got one eye on the clock. I think I just about did it. My 10 in 10. It's always lovely to have your company for these. Please keep in touch with me. Did I miss something out? Was there something that I didn't mention on my 10 in 10 that actually you would have added in? I would love to hear from you, or just hear from you in general to share thoughts. But as I say goodbye to you, I just want to wish you a wonderful Dyslexia Awareness Time. And let's all work together to raise the volume for our wonderful neurodivergent communities. Goodbye, everyone.